Welcome to our exploration of factorial notation, which is represented by the symbol n followed by an exclamation mark. This powerful mathematical shorthand helps us calculate certain types of problems efficiently. The factorial of a positive integer n is defined as the product of all positive integers less than or equal to n. So n factorial equals n multiplied by n minus 1, multiplied by n minus 2, and so on, all the way down to 1. Let's start with a concrete example, 4 factorial. This will help us visualize how the calculation works. 4 factorial means we multiply together all integers from 4 down to 1. Each colored block represents a number in our calculation, 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Let's calculate this step by step. First, we multiply 4 by 3, which gives us 12. Notice how we're working from left to right, multiplying each number in sequence. Next, we take our result of 12 and multiply it by 2, giving us 24. We're building up our factorial value by incorporating each successive number. Finally, we multiply 24 by 1, which still gives us 24. Multiplying by 1 doesn't change our value, but it's still part of the factorial definition. Therefore, 4 factorial equals 24. This result appears in many mathematical contexts, including combinations and permutations. Now let's move this calculation to the side and look at the pattern of smaller factorials. This will help us see how each factorial builds on the previous one. Let's examine 3 factorial. Notice how this is actually part of our 4 factorial calculation, but it stands as its own complete factorial as well. 3 factorial means we multiply 3 times 2 times 1. Note that these are the same colored blocks we used for the last part of our 4 factorial calculation, but now they form their own complete factorial. Following our step-by-step approach, we first multiply 3 by 2, which gives us 6. This is similar to what we did before, but now we're starting with 3 instead of 4. Then we multiply 6 by 1, which still gives us 6. Again, multiplying by 1 is required by the definition, even though it doesn't change our numerical result. So 3 factorial equals 6. Notice the relationship between 4 factorial and 3 factorial. 4 factorial is simply 4 times 3 factorial, or 4 times 6, which gives us 24. Let's move 3 factorial to the upper right and continue observing the pattern with smaller factorials. Each factorial calculation builds on the previous one, which will become important when we consider special cases. Moving on to 2 factorial. As we go to smaller numbers, our factorial calculations become simpler, but the pattern remains consistent. 2 factorial means we multiply 2 times 1. We're down to just 2 blocks now, representing the final 2 numbers in our factorial sequence. The calculation is straightforward. We multiply 2 by 1, which gives us 2. Again, we can observe that 3 factorial is just 3 times 2 factorial, or 3 times 2, which equals 6. So 2 factorial equals 2. Each factorial is related to the next smaller factorial by a factor of the larger number. Let's position this in the bottom left corner as we prepare to look at our final example, which will complete our pattern. Finally, let's look at 1 factorial, the simplest case in our factorial sequence. 1 factorial is simply 1 by itself. Following our definition, we multiply all integers from 1 down to 1, which is just the single number 1. This is represented by our single purple block. So 1 factorial equals 1. This is important because it forms the basis for all larger factorial calculations and will help us understand why 0 factorial is defined the way it is. Let's position this in the bottom right corner to complete our visual arrangement of factorials. Looking at our 4 examples, we can see a clear pattern. Each factorial is calculated by multiplying the number by the next smaller factorial. So 4 factorial equals 4 times 3 factorial, 3 factorial equals 3 times 2 factorial, and 2 factorial equals 2 times 1 factorial. Factorial notation gives us a compact way to express these products, which appear frequently in probability, combinations, permutations, and many other areas of mathematics. This recursive nature of factorials will help us understand why 0 factorial is defined as 1 in our next scene. What is 0 factorial? This seemingly simple question about the factorial of 0 has a surprising answer that's both elegant and mathematically significant. Let's start by examining some factorial calculations we already know. Remember, the factorial of a number is the product of all positive integers less than or equal to that number. 4 factorial equals 24 because it's 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. 3 factorial equals 6, which is 3 times 2 times 1. 2 factorial equals 2, which is just 2 times 1. And 1 factorial equals 1, since we're just multiplying the single number 1. Now let's look for a pattern. What happens when we divide each factorial by its number? This might give us insight into what 0 factorial should be. 24 divided by 4 equals 6, which is exactly 3 factorial. 6 divided by 3 equals 2, which is 2 factorial. 2 divided by 2 equals 1, which is 1 factorial. If we continue this pattern downward, 1 divided by 1 would equal 0 factorial. But what is 0 factorial? Based on our pattern, we might guess that 0 factorial equals 1. But patterns alone aren't proof. Let's verify our guess using the recursive definition of factorials, which provides a more rigorous mathematical approach. The recursive definition states that n factorial equals n times the factorial of n minus 1. This is a powerful formula that lets us express any factorial in terms of the factorial one step below it. We know with certainty that 1 factorial equals 1. Using our recursive formula with n equals 1, we can write 1 factorial as 1 times 0 factorial. Since we already know that 1 factorial equals 1 from our definition, we can substitute this value into our equation. Now we can solve for 0 factorial. Dividing both sides of the equation by 1, we see that 0 factorial must equal 1. Therefore, we've mathematically proven that 0 factorial equals 1. This isn't arbitrary. It follows directly from the recursive definition of factorials. This result is not just a mathematical convention. It's a logical consequence that maintains consistency in factorial calculations and formulas. For example, in combination formulas where factorials appear in denominators, having 0 factorial equal to 1 prevents division by 0 errors. We've shown that 0 factorial equals 1 using two methods, pattern recognition and the recursive definition of factorials. Both approaches lead to the same conclusion, giving us confidence in our answer. Let's explore the connection between factorials and combinations, which will help us understand why 0 factorial equals 1, a seemingly counterintuitive mathematical truth. This is the combinations formula, written as n choose r equals n factorial divided by r factorial times n minus r factorial. It calculates how many ways we can select r objects from a set of n distinct objects, where the order doesn't matter. Let's work with a concrete example. Here we have a set of 4 distinct objects, represented by these colored circles. We'll explore how many different ways we can select various numbers of objects from this set. In our first example, let's find the number of ways to select 2 objects from our set of 4. Intuitively, we might think about different pairs we could form from these 4 circles. Here's one possible selection of 2 objects, the red and blue circles. But we could also select red and green, red and yellow, blue and green, blue and yellow, or green and yellow. That's 6 different possible selections. Let's verify this using our combinations formula. We have 4 choose 2, which equals 4 factorial divided by 2 factorial times 2 factorial. 4 factorial is 24, 2 factorial is 2, so we get 24 divided by 4, which equals 6. The formula confirms our intuition that there are exactly 6 ways to select 2 objects from 4. For our second example, let's find the number of ways to select just one object from our set of 4. This should be straightforward. We can choose any one of the 4 circles. Here's one possible selection, the green circle, but we could also select the red, blue, or yellow circle instead. So there are 4 possible ways to select one object from our set. Applying the combinations formula, we get 4 choose 1, which equals 4 factorial divided by 1 factorial times 3 factorial. 4 factorial is 24, 1 factorial is 1, and 3 factorial is 6, so we get 24 divided by 6, which equals 4. Again, the formula confirms what we intuitively expected. Now for our critical example. How many ways can we select 0 objects from our set? This question might seem strange at first. We're asking how many ways there are to select nothing. When we select 0 objects, we get the empty set, a set with no elements. Now, how many different ways can we form this empty set? The answer is exactly 1. There's only one way to select nothing. You might think of it as having only one way to do nothing at all. Let's see what our combinations formula tells us. We have 4 choose 0, which equals 4 factorial divided by 0 factorial times 4 minus 0 factorial. This simplifies to 4 factorial divided by 0 factorial times 4 factorial. The 4 factorials cancel out, leaving us with 1 divided by 0 factorial. Here's the key insight. We know there's exactly one way to select 0 objects, so 4 choose 0 must equal 1. For this to be true, 1 divided by 0 factorial must equal 1, which means 0 factorial itself must equal 1. This isn't arbitrary, it's mathematically necessary for the combinations formula to work correctly. So we've proven that 0 factorial equals 1. This isn't just a convenient definition or a mathematical trick, it's a logical necessity that arises from counting principles. If we defined 0 factorial differently, our combinations formula would give incorrect results when selecting 0 objects. The fundamental truth here is that there is exactly one way to select nothing from any set, whether it contains 4 elements, 100 elements, or even infinitely many elements. Defining 0 factorial as 1 ensures this principle is correctly captured in our mathematical formulas. What we've discovered is a beautiful example of mathematical consistency. The combinations formula and our intuitive understanding of selecting 0 objects both lead us to the same conclusion. 0 factorial must equal 1. This seemingly strange definition turns out to be perfectly logical when viewed through the lens of combinatorial mathematics. Let's explore why 0 factorial equals 1 through 4 different mathematical perspectives, each providing a unique way to understand this important result. These 4 different approaches, pattern recognition, recursive definition, combinatorial interpretation, and mathematical consistency, will all independently lead us to the same conclusion about 0 factorial. Let's start with the pattern approach. When we look at a sequence of factorials, we can observe a consistent relationship between consecutive values. Notice the relationship between each pair of consecutive factorials. 5 factorial divided by 5 equals 4 factorial. 4 factorial divided by 4 equals 3 factorial. This pattern continues all the way down. Each factorial divided by its number gives the previous factorial. If we continue this pattern, 1 factorial divided by 1 should equal 0 factorial. Since 1 factorial equals 1, 0 factorial must equal 1 to maintain this mathematical pattern. Now let's look at the recursive definition approach. The factorial function is typically defined recursively, where n factorial equals n times n minus 1 factorial. This definition gives us a direct way to determine what 0 factorial should be. When we apply this recursive definition to 1 factorial, we get that 1 factorial equals 1 times 0 factorial. Since we know that 1 factorial equals 1, we can rearrange to find that 0 factorial must equal 1. This follows directly from the definition of factorials. The third approach involves the combinatorial interpretation of factorial. Factorial represents the number of different ways to arrange a set of objects. 3 factorial means there are 6 different ways to arrange 3 objects. 2 factorial means there are 2 ways to arrange 2 objects. So what about 0 factorial? How many ways can we arrange 0 objects? Well, there's exactly one way, by doing nothing. This empty arrangement is a valid mathematical concept and corresponds to exactly one possibility, giving us 0 factorial equals 1. Our final approach examines mathematical consistency through binomial coefficients. The binomial coefficient n choose k counts how many ways to select k items from n items, and it's calculated using factorials as shown here. When we consider n choose 0, which asks how many ways we can select 0 elements from a set of n elements, the answer is always exactly one way, by selecting nothing. From our formula, this equals 1 divided by 0 factorial. Therefore, for this formula to work consistently, 0 factorial must equal 1. Remarkably, all four completely different approaches converge to the same conclusion: 0 factorial equals 1. This isn't a coincidence. It reflects the deep mathematical consistency that makes 0 factorial equals 1 not just a convention, but a necessary truth. Whether we examine numerical patterns, apply the recursive definition, interpret factorials combinatorially, or ensure consistency in binomial coefficients, we arrive at the same answer. 0 factorial equals 1 isn't arbitrary. It's a fundamental result that maintains coherence across multiple areas of mathematics. This coherence across multiple mathematical frameworks demonstrates why 0 factorial equals 1 is a fundamental truth rather than an arbitrary definition. It's essential for maintaining the integrity and elegance of mathematical systems.